All right, we've got an interview in 2 minutes. 30 minutes later, and I was ghosted from that interview, I guess. I don't know if there was a problem with time zone confusion. I just got an email and that wasn't it. I should close the laptop. It's very distracting. That was one of 2 scheduled interviews this week. Also supposed to hear back this week from an interview I did the early part of last week. I'm starting to get fatigued. I've been doing this since I think I started December 2nd, somewhere around the 1st of December. I think I'm up to 70 something applications. Okay, editing me has stepped in to give you the full rundown on the job search while you watch some video of my current job where it's going to look like all I do is ride elevators. So far, I have submitted 67 applications across 3 cities and 2 other states. From those, I've had 6 phone screens, 4 Zoom interviews, and 1 offer which I ultimately declined. So when I say that, it doesn't sound terrible, but then factor in the dozens and dozens of emails that say something along the lines of, "While we're impressed with your background, we will not be moving forward at this time." I've received that more times than I can count. So when you're applying out of state, there's this extra layer where you're asking a company to take a chance on someone who doesn't already live there. So even with experience and strong interviews, there's still always hesitation. The process has been pretty eye-opening, and I've learned that while experience counts, there are some things like distance that you can't overcome.
Hey, it's all the same.
To each their own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a whole, right?
I have
As long as I'm
walk
happy,
into
I
this
think.
room.
Since this process is new to me, it's been very eye-opening to see that while experience counts, there are some things like distance that you can't overcome. It's also a reminder that the job market right now is competitive and slow and sometimes very quiet, but I persist because I know that eventually everything will align. I'm trying to get Abby in the shot, but she's too low down. So the job that I ended up declining was in Los Angeles, and LA was already my 3rd choice city. I selected it just because I wanted to have one other option in case I couldn't find any in the first 2. I got probably the greatest response to the number of applications I put out there. Unfortunately, the pay just did not match the cost of living. And I'm in a lower paying profession, and I have chosen some higher cost of living areas. So I'm trying to be very particular on what I do accept. Because of that, I ended up taking Los Angeles off of the list entirely. That way I can focus my energy entirely on the 2 cities that were my top 2 choices. Also, yesterday after the ghosted interview, I ended up extending my lease by 1 more month, just to kind of give some padding to where I don't feel like I'm making a decision out of desperation. I think that the hardest part of this process so far hasn't been the rejections or the poor communication and ghosting from interviewers. It's been the waiting, because I feel like I want to be there already, and I want to know where there is already. But the decisions that I made so far and giving myself one more month and narrowing down my choices has given me more of a feeling of control over this process. This might not be happening on my timeline, but it is happening. And I'm hoping that my next update is going to look very different. Thank you for watching.